Today is a big day. Kansas DLC's been released and we have got a ton to unpack. Today we're going to be going over the achievements that have been added. We're going to take a look at the map, as well as all the new cities that have been added in. There's been a new live event that we're going to be working on. And at the end, we should have time to sneak in a short little delivery. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so let's start out with the achievements here. I'm going to put a list up on the screen of everything we've got to do. It looks like we've got 5 new ones added. And I'm just going to go through these top to bottom and talk about what's involved here. So we've got Wheat State Explorer, which involves viewing all the cutscenes that have been added. Looks like those are those little movie viewpoint things that they put in there. So there's 10 of those. I try to hit all those anyway, so that shouldn't be too hard. Air Capital of the World. Deliver an aircraft wing and jet engine inlets to or from every aviation depot in Wichita. That, I'm not sure how complicated that is. We'll take a look at Wichita when we get to the map and see how many of these depots there are. Grain of Salt. Complete six deliveries from the Hutchinson Salt Mine in Kansas. At least 2 must be to a food factory. All right, we'll take a look at Hutchinson. Can you keep a secret? Discover at least 3 unmarked roads in Kansas. That one's pretty cool. If you didn't know, there are certain roads on these maps. I'm not sure how long they've had these for, maybe since the game first started, but they're not marked on the map. But you will run across them every once in a while, and they're usually, maybe they're shortcuts or they're just something interesting to see. So we need to discover 3 of those. That one might be a little tougher. We'll have to keep our eyes open. And then finally, the Sunflower State, which is to discover every city in Kansas. And there's 14 of them. That's just discovering them. So we'll have to drive through all 14 cities over the course of the next chunk of time. That shouldn't be too big a problem either. All right, so here's the new map. So I have to say I was originally a little worried because Kansas is not compared to a lot of these other states, it's not particularly big. So I was wondering how dense they were going to make it, how much content we would get in here. It's nice to see 14 cities. I will say, though, I do wonder, like, as we get to some of the smaller states out east, if they're going to start packaging multiple states together, especially in New England. It's like if I have to pay for a Rhode Island download by itself, that's going to be Rhode Island's where I live, and Rhode Island's really tiny, along with like Delaware. And we don't have 14 cities in this state that are going to be worth looking at. We've got, I can think of a few. Providence, Newport, probably be nice. Maybe Narragansett, maybe Warwick. But other than that, so I'm hoping they're going to at some point start packaging these states together. But we'll see. But regardless of that, Kansas itself looks pretty good. I mean, we've got a decent amount of content here. Again, here's your 14 different cities. We got an okay road network through here. So as far as getting our achievements, right here are all the little viewpoints we're going to need to be finding. Up, you'll see right here these little photo things. Those are the photo ops. Even though there's no achievement for these, I'm going to still try and pick them up. But the big one is going to be the aviation stuff in Wichita and the salt mine in Hutchinson. So let's go ahead and take a look at Wichita. So ahead of this DLC, I turned off my mod that replaces company names because once I saw these achievements, I saw that they were going to talk about, specific places that I have to do things for, like the salt mine. And I don't want confusion getting introduced by things being renamed by mistake or something. So if we go into Wichita, we see, like, here's this, I'm guessing this global sky right here is probably the airline depots. I see one there. And what else? Yeah, that's the only one I see. So it's possible that maybe there's multiple depots in this one Global Sky place. I'm honestly not quite sure. I also see Wichita Sky. I can't read that. That's not very clear. But I don't know. I'm a little confused about the Wichita stuff. Maybe it's those. We're gonna figure that out on the fly, I guess. Over here in Hutchinson, I also don't see anything that says salt mine specifically. I doubt it's this Flavor Fair. Maybe Namak. This would be an odd location for a mine. Mines are usually outside of town. So I'm not seeing any obvious mine either. Oh, there's Global Sky up here over by Salina. So I'm not quite sure, honestly. I think we're just going to have to figure this out as we go. But regardless, it's a pretty impressive map. A lot of these roads do look like they run north to east, or north to south, east to west. We got a couple diagonals here, but it looks like Kansas is kind of laid out mostly like a grid. So we'll see. All right, so now that we've seen the map, let's talk about the live event. With the new DLC, there's always a new World of Trucking event that gets introduced that gives you a couple of rewards based on how much you accomplish. So this one is the Cruising Kansas, and we've got two goals. We have a personal goal and a community goal. The personal goal involves delivering cargo to or from all 14 of the Kansas cities. And when we accomplish that, we get an achievement and a paint job. Now, these jobs, as it says up here, the layout on this is a little screwy. You have to kind of jump around to get all the information out. But regardless, it says right here, all jobs for the event need to be at least 100 miles each. So that'll actually introduce an interesting little logistical puzzle to solve with this state. Since Kansas is a smaller state, I'm going to guess that some of these cities are less than 100 miles between them. So we can't just pick two cities, drive from one to the next, and it'll be a-okay. We have to make sure that we do 100-mile plus jobs, and we need to hit all 14 of the cities while doing it. The community event involves everybody who plays this game that's got a World of Truck account, driving 125 million miles. That's a lot of miles to and from any city, and during deliveries to and from any city. And if you do that, you get a there's an amber sunflower hanging ornament. Okay, so we'll do as much driving as we can, but we have to also rely on a lot of other people playing this game to do it. So this ought to be pretty fun. This kind of coincides with the achievement of visiting every city. I'm going to try and pair those two together. We'll pick up photo ops and cutscenes along the way. When we get to Wichita and Hutchinson, we will be specifically looking for those salt mine jobs and aircraft jobs. But with that, I think it's time that we start taking a look at the DLC itself. Now, when the new DLC was installed, I'd forgotten about this. Every time a new DLC is installed, they give you a free fast travel credit. So they basically say, choose where you want your truck to get transported to. And so I took that opportunity. We'd been working, and I guess this turned out to be a little waste of time. We'd been working our way across Colorado to set ourselves up to be right near Kansas, but that turned out not to really be necessary because, as you can see, I placed myself right in Kansas City. I figured we may as well get started right from there. We're going to take a job from there. Okay, so I went ahead and found us a pretty good job. This one looks kind of interesting. This is going from Kansas City, where we are now, over to Emporia, which is 138 miles away, so it's over 100 miles. We'll pick up 2 cities for the achievement and the live challenge. And it looks like we are transporting a wind turbine tower. So that sounds kind of interesting. And we're making a little over $5,000 to do it. So we're going to go ahead and begin delivery. I went ahead and took the opportunity to rest so that we would be looking at Kansas in the daytime. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're in pretty good place here. Let's go ahead and swing over and pick up our... Whoop, went a little too far. Go ahead and pick up our delivery. We have arrived at the pickup point, and let's go ahead and find out where this trailer is. So we got a lot over here. There you are, right over there in the corner. That thing's pretty cool looking. Let's go ahead and get over there, and then we'll pull out and get a better look at this. Couple up, and let's go ahead and pull forward and take a look at this thing. Not sure what I guess a wind turbine tower would be. The stalk, the mast is what I might call it. Let's take a look though. Pop out. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. It's the long tower, appropriately named, that the windmill sits on top of. So let's go ahead and get on the road. All right, once we get up outside of the city, we will go ahead and catch up. We took a quick little detour to go ahead and pick up this viewpoint right here that I found on the map. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. See what Kansas City has to offer. Got a lot of graffiti. That's nice. It's pretty. And it is flat. Very flat. Nice high. Looks like maybe a mall or something like that over here. Maybe an industrial park. All right. Now there was one thing I saw that was kind of interesting. Let me go ahead and pop into photo mode so I can see because it's right over here. I'm gonna see if I can sneak away over there to see it. Yeah. See that right there? I don't know what that is, but they look like a bunch of looks like a bunch of silos or something. They're definitely storing something. So I'm not really sure what that is. I don't remember ever seeing that before. And I am going to go ahead and look that up and pop a little info on the screen about it because it was the one really interesting thing I did notice during that cutscene. But they didn't show it very much. I wish they'd shown it a little more. So speaking of Kansas City, this is the first place in American Truck Simulator that I am now visiting that I have actually been to. I came here for a wedding last year. Yeah, about a year ago, last November or something like that. My wife and I kind of did we turned it into a road trip across, I guess this is halfway across the country, give or take, maybe a little less. And it was pretty fun. So I've been here. We'll see if I recognize anything. We'll see if the barbecue place that we went to is around. But it looks like this. It's kind of flat. There's not a lot of big buildings. There is a little bit of a downtown, but most of it's just kind of low sprawl. Kansas City does straddle the border between Kansas and Missouri, so there's actually a Missouri side to Kansas City as well. I was talking about that last episode as well, wondering how they were going to handle it, and it is right on the border. I'm curious when Missouri gets introduced if they'll have a second Kansas City or if they'll just expand Kansas City to be on both sides of the border or what. That I'm not quite sure, but we'll see what they do for that. We'll go ahead and get ourselves out onto the highway a little further down, and then we'll catch up then. So it looks like we have snuck close enough to Topeka to discover it, which will add another city to our achievement for discovering all 14 of the cities in Kansas, but we have not delivered to Topeka yet. So I'm going to have to actually make a list of where we've delivered to and where we've uncovered so that we don't miss anything. Otherwise, it's going to get really, really confusing. I'm never going to keep it all in my head. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a list so that we will be able to check them all off. And here we are pulling into Emporia for our next, there we go, let's pick up that Kenworth dealer right there. For our next city that we've discovered and we are dropping off to, we will be, it looks pretty nice and rural out here. This is a very secondary road. Going right in here. I'm thinking the parking situation here is going to be similar to that last one, that one where we kept running into the fence. Oh, maybe not. We got ourselves a decent amount of space here. That's not too bad. We're gonna go ahead and take that. And let's pull forward, and it's a blind side, so I could probably turn around, pull out, make it a little bit easier on myself. We'll give it a shot this way first and see if we can pull it off. Otherwise, we can pull out onto the street and kind of back in that way. Give myself a little bit more room. All right, let's see how we do. Let's see if we beat our last time of 5 minutes and some odd seconds. All right, that was tight. I did not hit the truck. I set off the alarm, but I did not hit it. It's actually going pretty well. All right, now let's pull forward. I have not hit that truck, but I've come really close a couple times. Let's give it a little bit more room here. I think we got it. Come on, show it to me. Show it to me. And we're kind of dragging that. There we go. We're sort of dragging that box a little bit, but that's fine. We are in there. The green means good. All right, that took a little forward and backward. I did run into that fence a couple times and had to go forward and back a little bit, but it's okay. I consider that a win. We made ourselves the full 5200. We got ourselves really close to level 6. Looking forward to level 6 because we'll upgrade the engine on our current truck when that happens. But yeah, as far as what we got accomplished, we did quite a bit. After taking a look at the DLC in general, we visited 3 cities. We uncovered 3, Kansas City, Topeka, and Emporia. So that's for the achievement. We delivered to 2, from Kansas City to Emporia. And we uncovered 1 viewpoint. So we did quite a bit with the achievements today. I'll see you next time, where we're going to go ahead and keep doing the same sort of thing for a little while. We're going to plow all the way through Kansas, picking up, dropping off, visiting, checking out viewpoints, and seeing what kind of interesting things there are to see in this state. It is very flat, so there's not going to be any mountains, but there's a lot of farming and a lot of grain and salt mines, evidently, that we need to encounter. So we'll see what it has to do. This is Ken from Covenant Gaming saying until next time, see you later.